There we go.
Hello, everyone. This is Jennifer and Dave coming to you with Conversations in Conscious Change. And this is the Oneness and Wisdom series. Today, I have joining me someone who has done a lot, been through a lot, and has come up with something that she is well known for. She's called the 3 a.m. Inspirations. And I would like to add the lady. Okay. So Anu has a lot of experience, and today we are going to unravel what actually brings her to what she does today. Because I truly believe that behind every amazing individual to reach to the level that we are at in our lives, there is always a brilliant story that I would like to unpack today, if I have your permission, Anu. Okay. So without further ado, let's welcome Anu to the call. And I'm going to start off by shooting a couple of questions. But I would like you, Anu, to introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about you.
Hello, all, and hello, first of all, Jennifer. Thank you so much for inviting me here. This is truly an honor, and yes, I would love to share my story, and I would love to have this conversation with you. So, simple question: who's this person here?
Yeah, who's Anu?
Uh, First of all, thank you. That's wonderful of you to say I'm a three inspirations lady.
Yeah.
So I would like to start with that. I mean, funny thing is, I used to say it as a joke. I get three inspirations. And what does that mean? So I literally used to get these messages, and again, for many years now, more than 20, 25 years,
Mm.
even when I was doing architecture, I would get them suddenly as a drawing or whatever.
Mm.
And I used to ignore them in the beginning. I used to get annoyed. I used to get, what is this? I'm waking up, and then slowly I started paying little bit of attention. And
Okay.
funnily
So I'm
enough,
going to
that is,
stop you there. I told you that
yes.
I'm going to stop you. So now
Okay.
I'd love to get to know. So now you are being woken up at 3 a.m. and you're
Yes.
getting these inspirations. And you
Yes.
said that were an architect at that time. That's really
Yes.
interesting. So now I'm going to bring you back, okay, in
Okay.
time, and I'm going to uh, want to know. So, what on earth were you doing in architecture? Are you qualified to do that? Who were you there? Okay. So,
Yes. So ever since 18 years old, I've been in this field. Yes, I started my college as interior designer,
okay,
and yeah, ever since I started interior designing, I wanted to be an architect.
wonderful.
And this was a diploma in interior design. I finished it, and then I got into any class and everywhere because guess what? Even before I finished my college, I got married.
Holy
Arranged
Jesus,
marriage.
that's
I got
awesome!
married and moved to US.
Wow.
But
Okay.
and I said, wow. And then I said, no, 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 I have to be an architect because this was my life, this is what I was born to do.
Okay.
And I kept going with it. I kept taking classes wherever I was, and yes, after a few years, a decade, I finished my master's in architecture.
Wow.
I did my master's in architecture with about 10 years of experience in architecture.
Which is actually, in my opinion, um, it's better to do a master's when we have the experience because usually people, like I went and did my MBA and didn't complete it, quite honestly, I have to tell you that, um, when I was 40. So I went into
Mm,
classes because what occurs actually is that you've got the work experience under your belt. And then when
yes.
you go and do this, the MBA or the master's, that
Yeah.
you have a better understanding and a grasp of what is being
Yeah.
said and bringing
Yeah.
all your experience into some sort of localized form and structure, which adds more value to the end result.
Yeah.
You do. So that's interesting. Very good. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. And for architecture, especially, they do encourage um, experience, work experience.
Which
So,
great.
how my week was, like during those days, I don't even know how I did that. I mean, literally, I would go thrice a week to work, to a company to work. But then at the same time, at night, I would go to school. It was a night school for working architecture. I did all that, and then and
Wow.
funny problem is that while I was doing all that, I was killing myself. I mean, like you'll.
Okay, so now, so now you're studying and working at the same time. So you're burning the candle on both ends, so to speak. Okay,
Yes.
and now because you are the way that you are, wanting to do everything to the best of your ability, making sure that everything you do is absolutely spot on,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing, by the way. But it's interesting how most of us, when we step into any career, we love to be able to do something. Number one, it gave you tremendous joy, architecture and interior design. That's who you were at that time. It was in your blood. You could actually sense that.
Yes.
So to be able to grasp everything that was being brought to you, so you could ingest it and then create
Mm-hmm.
with it, I can
Inhale
get
it.
that. It's actually totally understandable. But then, how long did you carry on doing this? I mean, did you not fall to pieces as a result?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 20 years.
Okay. So
About,
how many 20 years you carried on doing this?
yeah.
Holy
I was doing so I was 18 when I started, and then
shit.
by the time I got my degree, about 26, and then but I worked for some more years, so to 2001, yeah, until 2004, until I was 35, I was doing this until I was
So
35, from
it's a
18 to 35.
close to 18 to 20 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
and
And then,
so
so
yeah, I
now
did.
the thing is this, that when you are doing that, um, you are so good at trying to do both things that you are not even concerned about what's going on in your body, in your life,
Yeah,
in your relationship to your body at all.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then what happened after that? I mean, what?
So I was, I was having severe endometriosis for many, many years before that, and I would literally, I couldn't walk at certain times, and I would still go to work. So I was, hurting a lot out of, I was taking a lot out of my body and my health. And I would literally do that. I did that for many years. And even after my studies, my studies got over.
Hmm.
So what happened was, anybody who knows about endometriosis, so what happened was that I was forced to one day literally just get up from my desk and go to the best boss I've ever had, and the best
Okay.
job I've ever had. And I said, I cannot take this anymore. I cannot do this.
Hmm.
So, and we agreed that I'll just walk in. And my boss, by the way, he was so understanding. Like I said, he's the best boss I ever had because he was so understanding. He could sense it for many months before that, before my crash, let's say. And he sensed it and said, are you sure we are not killing you? When he said we, he
Right.
means that this job, architecture itself, is a very strenuous job, even for normal people. So he says, are you sure this is not killing you? And I said, of course not. This is the best thing that can ever happen to me. This is my best job and all. But yes, it was. And I walked out on February 7th, 2004. And March 1st, 2004, I ended up in a hospital with multiple pulmonary embolisms. And this, I had gone again you can see how less I was valuing my own self. I was having chest pains 2 days before that, before March 1st, and I didn't even bother. And my doctor kept saying, go to the doctor, go check it out, go check it out. And then I went, I finally said, oh, okay. And I finally, went, and voila, I was very lucky. Again, I'm saying I was very lucky, because if I didn't go 12 hours after that, I don't think I would have made it, because what happens with pulmonary, they caught it in time. Let's just put it that way. They caught it in time. And so what happened was that because of that, the next 6 months was a steep drop. I didn't have any energy. I needed literally to my mom. I remember this. My mom is a Reiki master, so she literally poured energy back into me through this second degree Reiki at that time, and like literally I had to get back up into what normal was. So yeah, so that's what I did to my own self.
Okay, so this is back. Okay, so this is something that is totally an amazing experience. And when I'm saying amazing, I don't mean that it's a good thing, but some of us, Anu, really need a knock on our head, and I'm one of them. Okay,
including me,
in big time. Okay, where we are so wanting to look after everybody, take care of things, making sure that the company is running well, making sure that people are taken care of at home, that we become self-sacrificing, so to speak. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
And that for me, and the way that I see it, because I've experienced it myself. Okay, I've been there, done that, totally. That we'll have a conversation at another time, but I know where you're coming from, and I totally get it. But I also get one thing is now you're laid up in bed for 6 months. You've got to really take care of yourself. And then you start getting a gain. Now, I want you to just connect, because you already know this, but I want other people to hear this from you, because it's so impactful. You start again getting these wake up calls at 3 a.m. And you used to get them before when you were an architect, but you didn't pay attention to them because you thought it's passe. They're no big deal.
Yeah.
Now, for me, those kind of things are the tap on the back, is the universe giving you a nudge to budge. Okay.
Yeah.
And most of the time, we don't pay attention to that. So for me and you today, to the people who are going to be listening, one thing that both of us can tell them is, please pay attention to what your body is saying to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Because your body is the best barometer of how it is you're actually showing up.
Yeah.
And if you are not paying attention, it might just be too late. Okay?
Yeah.
So can you see how blessed you are, Anu? That you didn't, nothing could actually occur to you, or nothing could harm you, simply because what you call your divine mother was protected, right? So could you share with us what happens now? So you are relaxing, and I want us to know now from you, how did this 3 a.m. inspirations really lead you to the business that you do today? Please share with us.
Thank you so much. So, and it always starts from this tiny little thing that, you first ignore, and then you say, what is this? And what started happening was, even during the architecture time, I would get this thing and I would write it down, you see, or I would go and draw whatever, this thing. So I start writing it down. And so literally I'm woken up at 3 a.m. or, around that time. And these clear, crystal clear words and sentences are coming in. So then I'm going, oh, wow, what is this? And then I write it down, okay? And I go off to sleep, okay? Then the next morning, I look at it. I've forgotten everything the next morning. I look at it and say, oh my goodness, this came from me, and seriously, it is simple as that. And so words started coming in, and drawings started coming in, and I started painting. I started learning. I mean, subconsciously, I started going behind artists. Why am I going behind artists? I'm an architect. I'm going behind artists because I literally, in my own, my subconscious was telling me, you need to learn how to paint, because there's things are going to come out of you now. So things like that. I'm saying it in hindsight. So literally I would go out and photograph them, because by the way, in the meantime, I was learning photography just because I wanted to, that nothing else to do with me. So I said, let's just learn how to do it. And I learned online. I learned, photography, and I learned painting. So I was 42 years old. I learned painting from an intuitive artist. And again, that was the best thing, because all of a sudden, with these 3 a.m. inspirations, with these words that are coming out, or these art paintings, I'm painting, and things were just flowing out. And these colors, and I'm telling you, I never wore these kinds of bright colors. I was getting reds and yellows and pinks, and these gorgeous looking colors are coming out of me, and I'm just painting. And so that's what came out. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to just watch. And that was a big decision for me, because again, normally we would either panic, or we would either say, what's going on? Maybe I shouldn't, and fear and all of these comes in. It was as if my own health and my own body was like this experiment that I need to, work on. I mean, I was 35. At the same time that I realized the pulmonary embolism, actually, my doctor basically said, you cannot have kids. And, my husband and I needed to work on that. So we don't have kids. So that itself, but then, that we were going through that. But then on top of that, I said, this is my kid. And I'm going to grow this thing here. And I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to, see what you have to offer here, so that became my, thing, because I'm not going to depend on others to take care of me. I'm not going to, be in a hospital somewhere, with tubes sticking out, and I don't want to, I will not depend on anyone. So that was my big thing. So I said, if this thing has to survive or thrive, then I have to look after this. And so I just let it go. And I started painting. And all these, by the way, the scarves, I will tell you, this is another beautiful story I can tell you. It just came straight from there. I mean, I started painting, and I started sharing with my closest friends, because I didn't know how good I was. I learned how to paint, and I said, I didn't know how good I was. Then I started, well, guess what? I was pretty good, because I started winning competitions. I put myself out there, and I said, no, I'm going to see how good I am. I started winning competitions. I started giving exhibitions. And then I said, okay, gave it to my friend, one of these friends. I said, hey, what do you think of this? And instead of saying it's good, she says, can you make a scarf with this? I'm going, what? What are you talking about? I said, wow, that means it is good. And so that actually got me started on the next journey up, where all of a sudden I said, no, this is something. I started appreciating my work. You know how difficult that is, right?
Yes, of course. And the other thing is that it comes so naturally. The thing is that most of us are are so judgmental about ourselves, and we don't know this and we don't know this and don't know that.
Yes.
And it's all coming from a place of not recognizing how valuable things are to us that are
Yeah.
coming through us already. And so we
Yeah.
try to seek everything outside of us, not knowing that, oh, wow, we already are gifted. And I think that is one of the main things that keeps people in constant searching for something outside of themselves when they really have to go on the inside to check what actually their innate capacities, abilities, and skills are. And I think, again, it was for me the way you're talking about this. It wasn't something that um, was a disaster that it actually happened to you, but knowing you and the way that you are and wanting to do the stuff that you want to do, I think the universe had to give you a bit of a knock and then create through you. And that is
It's
what it is that so beautifully is coming through now, because you became the instrument of the divine to express
thank you.
itself.
It's
That is
beautiful.
amazing,
Thank
really
you.
amazing, seriously.
The funny thing is, I thought at 18, and we all do this, we do this to ourselves when we are in our 20s and 30s. I thought that the one thing in my life I was made to do was be an architect. And now I feel like I am an architect, but of my life more
Mm,
than,
absolutely.
of my health. I am an architect because that actually laid the foundation. It's just that, yeah, I'm doing artwork for people who need it, and
Yeah, I'm going to
serving
come
people.
to that. I'm going to come to that because,
Okay,
again,
thank you.
can you see
Oh, can I just say something I wrote?
Sure.
Again, I told you these things come out naturally. I mean, these things come out beautifully through my, 3 a.m. inspirations. I've got books, by the way, that I write down. So there's this one that after, when you asked me to come here, and Grace, your audience, I thought I just should write this. Sid, don't run away so fast. This is just a message, I can tell young adults, don't run away so fast as I used to, that you end up running away even from yourself.
Very true.
So just, it's okay, just enjoy the small things. So just that one piece of, that it just came to,
Which is
like I
very
said, I
good.
felt like
Really
sharing.
good. So then, so now you are getting these downloads. I will call them downloads, okay?
Downloads, I
I
love
think
that.
it is actually a download that is coming to you that you've got to allow to come through you to share with everyone around you. Okay,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is that's going on. Now, the amazing part is this, that it sometimes takes us a long time to actually create that which we are with the rest of the world. But I'm so pleased that you are a lady who has decided to choose to do that. Okay, and now you have a company, right, Anu?
yes.
And
And that is
what's the company
3 a.m.
called?
inspirations.
There we go. There. So how amazing is that to actually have a company that says that? But now I want to, I want the audience to really know that in 3 a.m. Inspirations, it's an organization that works with clients, but you have a very different approach to how you work with clients, and that's what when I spoke to you briefly the first time, I think I thought it was the most amazing way of actually doing something. Simply because you just don't go, okay, fine. Someone says, okay, I'd like you to do this work. You don't really work that way. Uh, I love the fact that you actually choose your clientele. You choose to create an impact with your clients. It is not what they think that they should actually have, but it is about you making sure that they answer a couple of things that you would like to ask them to make the essence of what it is they would like to actually bring to the rest of the world by asking and painting what it is that your questions actually will draw out. So please share it with us. What is it that you do? Because for me, that was like, wow, it's awesome.
So just a very quick history about this company, right? Since it's been 3AM Inspiration since 2020, but my company is 7 years old now. And so when I started in 2015, it was called simple. It was called creative, create
Awesome.
art. Simple, right? And
Yes.
art to your style. And it started with that, where I'm creating art for people. But then funny thing is that and I actually I have to say full credit to this wonderful mentor. I have had her for 5 years. I had a entrepreneurship mentor, and I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, but I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
She groomed me, and all that. And in that community of entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, there was this one cancer coach, who wanted to be a cancer coach, and it started actually with the dialogue, which I had.
Yeah.
That's to answer your question. Where she's cancer survivor, thriver, and a coach, and I said, I'm an artist, so how can we help each other? And so what we did was we started talking, and I said, okay, so what is it that I can do for you, and how can we enhance your company? And as it turned out, she was giving these amazing. She's an award-winning speaker.
Wonderful.
And I said, okay, what if whatever you're speaking, and again, in social media, you can be an award-winning speaker, but in social media, it's a very different ball game. And we were in that, we were trying to both get exposure to social media. So I said, okay, what if I take your speech? She was giving amazing, incredible value every week for about 4 or 5 minutes. She was giving. So I said, what if I take that and I create art? I'm an artist, right? So what if I create art with it? So we said, okay, let's just try. So we started for a month, where, again, she's talking about, let's just give an example, the value of pH balance, and she did a whole series on that, on pH balance, on different, every week we went through that. And I said, okay, so whatever she was speaking about, I would create an artwork with it.
Wow.
And 4 lines of poetry, with my 3 inspirations. So what I say is, I take 4 minutes of your speech, or 40 minutes of your presentation, or or one chapter of your book, or whatever, and I'll create 4 lines of art and word. So art and word. So that's what started happening. It was just like a fun thing, and we started for a month. It was going good. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. After a year, she signed up for another year. So we said, looks like this is working. Our experiment is doing much better than. Funny thing is that because it started with this unique concept, other people started noticing it. We started getting up from the crowd. We started being noticed
as different.
We started standing out from the crowd. And other coaches and other therapists and wellness experts started paying. I started helping out, and we did amazing work even during the pandemic.
I think that's the most important time for people to actually revisit as to how to approach things differently.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened, because people were getting too lost in the crowd. Everybody was online. And all of a sudden, whatever we were doing, what I call this, I don't say I was doing, I call this a co-creation, because it's literally your powerful message and your brand. I identify it and I'll create something where it comes out in one beautiful art and word. And this is what we started doing on a regular basis, and we started honing it, and we started developing it, perfecting it, and all of a sudden, I think magic started happening.
So tell me, do you do this now? And if anybody wants to approach you, what would be the course of what would be the method in which you? So if I come to you right now and say, Anu, I'd like you to do something for me, and I'm not clear what I want to have done. Okay, so
Okay.
how would you approach me, and how would you extrapolate from me what it is that I want and I still don't know? For example, so
exactly. So let's say you have, and you are, you are a coach, and you're a very established, expert in a lot of things, But then what happens is, I'm here to bring out your value. If now it's, the way I say it is, you have so much value. You can put it all out as a waterfall, and it'll just get lost. But if both of us work at it and create golden nuggets out of it, create literally golden nuggets, we'll pick from there. And each of those golden nuggets, we will put it out in the form of, again, I have a name for what I do. It's called extraordinary content.
okay.
Why is it extraordinary content? Because it's very different, and it's more powerful than a regular content that you put out on social media. So social media, everybody knows, it's content marketing. You see, this is all marketing. It's all marketing. Social media marketing, content marketing. What I do is an addition, or actually a niche, where I'm literally taking golden nuggets out of you, and out of what you do. I mean, there was one neuropsychotherapist. She had 24 points, 24 things, things of value. That's just incredible value. If I give you all the 24 and say, here, you're going to get what? I don't know. But if I say, let's break that down into one, and just put that one per week, one, then what happens? The person who actually needs that one will look at it and say, "Oi, you're talking my language here."
Exactly.
That is the gold. That's why I call it a golden nugget, because now all of a sudden you've directly reached your target audience.
Okay.
Because
now, that sounds very plausible and exceptionally good. There's one thing though. So it's not only the golden. So I'm listening to you, and I work with energy. So I'm actually going to say something over here, and I want you to tell me whether it resonates with you. Okay. So now you are being able to extrapolate from our communication. You're being able to bring it into concise information. What you're actually doing literally is picking up on the energy of what is being said and encapsulating that into art form and word form.
Absolutely.
How amazing is that? My God, it's so unique, Anu. Really unique. Really wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Funny thing is, I learned it from architecture.
Yeah.
Funny thing,
So that's another thing, is that we should never ever make anything that we have experienced in our life as useless.
Yes.
Okay? Because every little bit that we are going to and going through is a culmination of what is required for us to do and to add value to. It's really interesting. Now, the essential part is this, that you have been doing this, you've been creating this. Many people don't know about what you do. So this podcast is here also to help other people to really reach out to you so that you may create more magic for them, because literally this is magic. It really is. But
Thank you.
I know there's one thing I want you to I'm going to ask you a question now, because I truly believe that everyone should actually hear what it is that you got to say about this. And we come from a brilliant chapter called Oneness and Wisdom.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's really a beautiful platform, really beautiful. But I want to ask you a question over here, and it may sound a bit, you know, off the charts, but what does oneness mean to you? And what, from that oneness, what wisdom comes through you is what it is that I'd like you to.
That's a powerful. So, what does oneness mean to me? Funny thing is that I have had my life. I told you I got married at 20 and just left, right? For US. I was there for more than 20 years, and now I'm in Spain for this one. I have experienced through all these years such amazing people coming to me, so I just come across them who are just like me, or I'm learning so much from them, and this total strangers, right? And this has been happening to me for more than 20-25 years, and I feel like that is oneness, meaning that just the energy we put out, I guess, or I don't know, all those details, but it's that. I mean, again, I'm going to go into some cliches, maybe sistership or brotherhood or sisterhood or brotherhood.
Mm.
It's just,
But
okay.
okay, so I'm going to ask you another question. Maybe that might assist for that amazing stuff that comes through you naturally. And it is this.
Mhm.
So, did you have to get to know you better first? And was that your journey of you really getting to know who you are first so that you could be this amazing contribution that you are right now for the rest of us?
So
Do you
it's
think
the
it starts with
opposite.
you? Did it
It's
start
the
with you?
opposite, actually.
Okay.
I through the people who I know, I got to know me, because seriously, I was not taking myself very seriously all my life. Literally, I was not, and I almost killed myself because of that, because I never paid attention to
But
myself.
that's
But
it.
other people,
Okay, so but before other people could actually get there, do you not know that it was the amazing part of you getting a knock on your head to pay attention to you? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You had to actually get to pay attention to you
true, true, true,
for everything to come through you. And when
yeah,
it started coming through you, then that actually brought the people to you. You get that?
true.
That's what was going on. Which
I opened the
exactly,
doors. I
exactly.
opened the doors.
But you had to actually be that for you first, right?
Very
And
true, very true.
sometimes, most of us sometimes really don't pay attention to that. And that
Yeah,
is the greatest gift all of us have, is to really
yeah,
recognize. And that for
yeah,
me is being one with you so you can be
yeah.
one with others. You can't be one with others without being one with you,
With yourself.
because then it almost seems like a facade. It almost seems like you have to really try hard. A
Right.
facade where you have to try hard.
Yeah.
You see, I'm becoming a
Yeah.
wordsmith like you.
Yeah. We are getting good. I love it. I love it. I do this
Yeah.
constantly with my husband.
So then
But
I'm going to ask you to leave our audience with three important messages that you would like to share with them. And let us base it on oneness and wisdom.
Okay.
please.
Oh, 3, huh? Okay.
Any amount, 1, 2, 3, whatever. But I usually like 3, but it's not written in
Yeah,
the.
I know. We all love 3. Three is a
And
very
then you go
powerful.
3 a.m., right?
Yeah. Oh, why do you think? Why do you think I love it so much? That's why I was laughing. 3 a.m. Okay. So, and let's send this message to my dearest oneness and wisdom G100 sisters and brothers. So a lot of things a lot of things are repeats of what we have already said.
Yeah.
So there is this Sanskrit word, it's called, there are 2 words, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means universal family. Just to put it very simply, it's called universal family. And first, they are my universal family. I mean, I have been truly blessed to have a universal family, uh, which has been protecting me. I mean, seriously, I mean, you won't believe the amount of stories I have throughout my life. Like, I go in a train, I don't know what to do. In my next job, what to do, and this person shows up who's a total stranger, and she's just literally answering all my questions without even knowing it. And she's just and I know, and I have a picture of all of these amazing women and men who have come into my life. They are my universal
So you
family.
have a universal
uh,
family. So are you
so
saying that
that
all of us have to look at and or find our universal family?
we are a universal family, and we don't, even if whether I don't think whether we realize it or not, we are.
Okay.
And so that is for sure. That's my life. So because I've been more exposed to my universal family, just because I've been out of my
Immediate family.
for some reason, I didn't choose this. So God sent me, and literally, I mean, we wanted to go on a trip to New Zealand, and there's this lady sitting there. She guides us throughout, just through an email. She's literally guiding us through. I said, where did you come from, my dear sister? This is what I'm saying. We all have our universal family, so that's for sure. And another thing is that again, what I believe sistership is, again, with the G100, we went through this exercise, right? The sistership. And I what does a sister mean to me? And it's very important for me that, yeah, we, share, very important, we share and we care, miles don't matter, and just be yourself, be honest, just share, share and care, you know, and listen. And so oneness, I guess that's what it means to me, because there's a lot of pain. I'll tell another very small story. After, I mean, I've gone through chronic pain many years of my life.
Mm.
And I would walk on the street, and I would see this lady or whatever walking in front of me. I would look at her eyes, I would know that she's going through pain at that very moment.
Mm.
And I have approached many a time, and I've gone to parties, everybody's dancing and singing. I would go straight to this person who I know she's having a traumatic experience right there. Just through her eyes, I would look at her, and we've had some amazing relationships like that. I've had some relationships like that with total strangers, where I was able to, with my meager knowledge, just be there for that person, just because I know she's in pain, or she's having a horrible marriage, whatever it is. So that is oneness for me. Just the fact that how is it that I'm able to totally relate to this total stranger, and completely understand what she's going through. Why? How is that? His oneness.
We're all
And
connected.
it's wisdom of, is the wisdom and the courage of, going to that person, and, and she, having the courage to share with me. So we've had, wherever I go, wherever I've lived in
So
my
you
life,
attract everyone who requires assistance, is it?
it just seems to be that way. Even in a plane, I have to tell you, even in an aeroplane, I'm not kidding.
I think
Even in
you've got it written down over here.
something's going on here.
Tell me
Yeah.
about your problems.
And so much so that I've what's the word, stared down some ugly people in airplanes just to protect some people who I know that there's something going on. There's some abuse or whatever going on. So
So you are the silent person who actually helps other people get out of
I
problems.
don't know about that. It's just it's
Anyway,
just
so it's been an interesting conversation, Anu. A lot of interesting gems you shared. Um, a lot of stuff which people should actually take the time to listen to. Because these podcasts are done to help each other, all of us, to actually connect, to become closer, to imbibe the principles and the values of oneness and wisdom. Um,
yeah,
Oneness for me personally is about, if I know me, I know you, because
yeah,
there's no separation. There is only inclusion, right? We're all part
yeah,
of that. So we've got to really get to know ourselves to be able to relate to somebody else. Uh,
yeah,
that's so,
absolutely
so
true.
important. And the wisdom is that since each one of us has actually experienced so many different things in our life, it is really remarkable how those things could also be in relation to other people experiencing them too. And it is
Mhm.
about, and the reason that you actually can connect to so many people and people can connect to you is simply because you have been there and done that. Maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in another lifetime too, right?
Maybe,
So
yeah,
you actually have got, you've got the psychic ability to be able to recognize that, which is a gift in itself. So
maybe.
there's so many things. So you are getting downloads. You've got psychic ability to be able to attract people who require assistance. You've got the innate capacity to relate to your clients, to really extrapolate from them what it is that they would like to receive, so you can conceive and then deliver it to the essence of your art and word. Truly a remarkable gift. You've been able to be taken. It's almost like the universe has your back and has taken you through different routes and passages and connected you with a universal family that truly holds your back and celebrates you. And all of this would not be happening if you were not put into that situation to get a nudge.
Yeah,
Nudge.
exactly, exactly.
So, on
It's
that amazing note, is there any last thoughts that you'd like to share before we say bye bye to the audience?
first
Can
of
you
all,
share?
thank you.
Can you share before you go? Can you please share one more of your golden nuggets with us?
Oh my, my favorite, um, which I actually I want to I did this for a client, and I want to tell her name. So I want to reference her. Her name is Shireen Lovegrove. She is a sovereignty coach. And I did this in one of the myriad ones, beautiful co-creations that we did. So, are we ready? Okay. I was born to make a difference. I come alive to bring significance to yours and mine very existence. Our charm and grace add magnificence. We were born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
It's wonderful, beautiful, beautiful to way to end our podcast. So everyone who's going to be listening in to this amazing conversation with Anu, who has shared in a very vulnerable and yet powerful manner who she is, where she came from, what she does now, and how she's been able to navigate to create her life in a way that brings her joy. And she brings joy, which she employs now in the work that she does. So always have joy. That's what I'm saying. Life does not have to be a pain. We've got to be here to actually restrain the pain so that we can actually be in gain.
Yeah.